Hello and welcome to episode 17 of The Average Critics. Today we're going to be talking about Wonder Woman and Baywatch, which some of us have seen this week, and also talking about some TV shows. We've just come back from paintballing yesterday, so we're all quite tender. Another torturous idea from Ollie, so thanks for that.
Yeah, you guys hate me right now.
Yeah, next time we're going to
I'm considering our friendship. You seem to just want to hurt us. I don't understand why. You were saying yesterday you think you might have some sort of like subconscious grudge against them.
Yeah, mate. It's something that you've done that I don't know. It's all coming up.
Yeah, but you sent us a nice Snapchat of your bum, which was riddled with
bruises. That's the target shooting me as I'm running away.
I've got 3 nasty bruises on my arm and everything. Yeah. So thanks for that. We first had Tough Mudder, then that. What's gonna be next? Like Total Wipeout or something?
Oh, that would be sick. Can we do Total Wipeout, please?
I would actually do Total.
I said you should watch Community. There's like 3 episodes of Community where they do like a paintball thing. And it's like a school-wide paint. It's a really good episode. So yeah, you should.
That'd be sick if you were in a school and there was only like 10, 20 of you doing it. That'd be sick.
There's loads in the episode. There's loads. Literally, the whole school takes part. It's quite. It's quite funny.
That's the one thing. That's the one thing with the paintball yesterday. That uneven teams.
Oh yeah.
That was a bit frustrating. But
yeah.
We still did alright.
Orange team, if you ever listen to this, you're cunts. I need to stop saying that because
You've got a foul mouth, man.
said that like 10,000 times in like the 16 episodes we've done so far.
Glenn's usually the potty mouth.
I know.
It's rubbing off on me. I swore in the last podcast.
Rubbing off on you?
Yeah.
Jesus
You're one of the most
Christ.
swearing people I know.
Yeah.
I am a politically correct, polite person.
That's not true.
So that is
The polite part's true, the first part's not
That's
true.
complete bollocks, mate. Anyway,
Come on,
so
guys.
I would recommend Laser Quest or Quasar or something in
Bingo.
In it.
or even Bingo, rather than paintballing. But it would have been cool if it was like more Call of Duty map something. I don't know.
Different maps. What about like a school indoors? That'd be quite sweet.
That would be actually.
Like urban paintball.
They've got a zombie thing where you can get trapped in a mall and zombies come after you and you got to run away and kill them.
Like Dead Rising.
Yeah,
That's petrifying.
That'd
Man.
be cool. All right, well, Chris, you had you posed a question to us at the end of the last episode, which we were not prepared for, and I couldn't think of a single answer. So,
Okay.
how about you repeat it this time, and maybe we'll be able to take it a little bit more, seriously, and give you some better answers.
Okay. If you could choose any TV series to have a prequel, what series would you choose?
And this was, you said, apart from Game of Thrones.
Apart from Game of Thrones, and I should have also thrown in there apart from 24 for Obi,
Why?
because I knew as soon as I said it, I knew that's what you were gonna say.
Modern Family's one.
Yeah, you said Modern Family. That was a good one.
Nice.
See-
So the prequel, should the prequel be a film, like a standalone film, or would you like the prequel to
A
be
film
a TV
or a TV series, whatever you'd prefer, whatever you'd like.
Because I was just having a look, and there's a lot of TV series that have already come out as prequels for other shows or whatever.
That's why I think it's difficult.
Better Call Saul is a prequel to Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Gotham is a prequel to everything Batman related. What was the other one I suggested? Well, Big Bang Theory.
Bang
Now
Theory.
they're coming out with a prequel to Sheldon.
Yeah.
You also had like Agent Carter.
I was literally just thinking
Yeah.
of Agent Carter.
But then, so for me, personally, after thinking about it, I would probably like to see a Heroes prequel. About
what would that focus on?
It would probably focus about the parents, because they had their own little society, didn't they, before? And they touched on it in season 2 and 3, but you don't really see much about them.
Yeah.
So that might be an interesting one to see, although Heroes is a bit saturated and should never be touched again after Heroes Reborn. But
Well, the only thing I could think of was The Walking Dead, which I know Fear the Walking Dead kind of is a prequel, but I want to know what happened when what caused the outbreak.
But then my assumption would be, maybe it's bold, that at the end of Walking Dead would have that clarification on what
It's never going to end though, is it, really?
Oh, it should soon.
Yeah, but I don't know what the ending's going to be. Happy ending, sad ending. Rick just chilling out.
Well, it depends if Rick's got the immune stuff in his system, or if it's the point of view of Carl, then it could be anything.
Oh yeah, Old Man Carl.
Yeah, so
I'd YouTube that.
yeah,
Nerding out, man.
So
I've got a random suggestion, based on your DVDs up there.
Yeah.
Would anyone want to watch a My Name is Earl?
yeah, I was
So,
thinking
before he became a good guy, so when he was just doing really bad,
it'd be really funny,
doing
yeah.
really stupid stuff.
There'd be no remorse though. It would literally just be him just doing the bad things.
I think it should be like him. You know, like how Ed and Eddie, they used to try and do stupid stuff to Jerry to try and get money, and you find that quite funny. I think it'd be something like that.
Yeah, I think
But
that'd be
then
good.
the guy who plays Randy isn't fat anymore, so it wouldn't really make
Yeah.
sense.
Well, Smallville's
He's an actor.
is a prequel
Yeah.
to Superman.
Yeah.
But what about any anime or cartoons, anything like that you watch? Is there anything that you think, oh, that'd be cool? Maybe like, you know, a TV show focused on just Pokemon without humans.
That's pretty interesting outlook. I don't know really.
Like
Because a lot of them-
Professor, what's his name? Professor Oak, or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, yeah.
If like he was a
Origins of
younger.
Oh mate. Yeah, I mean, there's loads, isn't there? Like, I think a lot of the anime have already touched upon prequels and stuff. Like big ones like Naruto have already started their new one of Boruto.
Oh, that could be a
Oh, so-
that could be a naughty segue right there, Chris.
So Boruto is the prequel to Naruto.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what is Naruto? And then tell me what Boruto
Oh
is.
god.
Naughty
Naruto. So Naruto is about this. It's about so basically it's this village, the Leaf Village, and there's other villages, and they basically become ninjas to protect their own village and go against greater threats. And there's these tailed. I can't remember because I haven't watched it in a while. Tailed beasts, and 9 people have these beasts within them because they've been locked away because they're too powerful to be out in the open. And Naruto's got one, but he doesn't know this. And then it's like, I can't remember how many episodes. It's like 400 episodes of like him learning about this, getting to control the power. That whole village know that he's got this thing inside of him, and he's been like very shunned away for his whole time of being there. And then he becomes the savior of the village, and his thing is he wants to become Hokage, which is the leader of the village and the strongest one in the village. And by the end of the thing, he is Hokage. Boruto is about his son. Also, Naruto's a bit naive and not that great at doing stuff, but then he progressively becomes great at doing everything. And this Boruto's about his son, and his son is actually really good at doing everything, but seems to be really envious of his father, or not like his father because he's never about.
Is it a prequel then if it's about his son?
Sorry, it's not a prequel, sorry, then it's a sequel, sorry.
Oh, right.
Yeah. You can't really have a prequel to Naruto. Well, I suppose you could, but I don't think it'd be that
That's just
interesting.
another prequel. It's for like a film. So you know, I know you hate it, but you know the start of Power Rangers where you have like Zordon being the Red Ranger and all stuff like that. I wouldn't mind seeing like a
Prequel to
little
that.
thing about that.
Yeah, they could do like a 20-minute stint, couldn't they?
Mm.
Don't have to
But I
necessarily...
feel like for prequels to really work, there needs to be a really detailed world or universe or whatever that they're kind of set in. So like the real world, I don't really know if it lends itself too much because
Yeah,
I feel like TV shows set in the real world tend to just start where they need to start.
But the prequel premise of Power Rangers didn't start on Earth.
No, I'm saying like,
Ah.
that's because it's set, you know, partly otherworldly or
Worldly, yeah.
you know, fantastical.
True.
Same with like why Game of Thrones would work so well, whereas you know.
Oh, that's gonna
You
be
wouldn't,
so
you wouldn't have a
saturated,
prequel to EastEnders, would you? Like, when...
I'd watch that.
No, of course
Saying
you
that, I've
would.
stopped watching EastEnders. Actually, no, I'm going to talk about EastEnders quickly, but no one cares, so I'm not going to bother. No, 'cause I haven't watched it. I haven't watched it for ages.
Oh, right.
But I'm saying just some certain people died, and I was like, fuck it, I can't believe they died. And they died like last year. I was like, fuck me. But yeah, I'm so out of touch. But, yeah.
Have you seen the thing about Denise? That little rap she did, that
No.
someone's edited together to
No.
the tune of Mask Off. It's so funny, man. I'll show it to you afterwards. But anyway, yeah, continue telling us about Boruto.
So basically, and Boruto, so it's only been like 10 episodes at the moment, and it's just Boruto. Basically, his mum's got this thing called the Byakugan, and it's basically this, her eyes are like white, and they can see everything in like slow-mo and see through things and stuff. And he's learning that he's got a, what, they're using both eyes, but he's only got one eye, and it's not the same colour as the normal one, so, and he can't control it, so it just happens randomly. And that's where they're up to in the series at the moment, that he's learned that he's got this power. Someone's come to him in a dream and said that you're going to be the great warrior, and that's pretty much it.
But is his father still alive in it?
Yeah, his father's the...
So you've seen Naruto as well?
Yeah. Naruto's the Hokage, and Boruto's just annoyed with him because he's never about, and he's like, well, why are you so great? Because you're never doing anything. But he's really doing everything.
Daddy issues, man.
Yeah, pretty much. But then there's a Boruto movie which kind of just spoils the whole Boruto series, because you know the Boruto series is going to get to that point.
Oh.
So that's what happens in animes when they make. It tends to happen. So like Dragon Ball Super had Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods and Dragon Ball Z Revival of F. The two films smashed into the series, but at later points, so you have a bit of the series, then you'd have the movie spread across like 8 episodes, which was long. Then you'd have a bit more story. Then you'd have the other movie spread over 8 episodes long, and now you're on to the next arc in the series. So that's going to be the same, I think, with Boruto. So you've got his story about, because in the movie you don't really know a lot about Boruto and all his friends. So you'll have like, I reckon, 30 episodes where you learn all about them all, and like how the village has changed in the 30 years since Naruto was a kid to this time, or however long it is, I don't know. And then you'll have the movie spread over 8 to 10 episodes, and then it'll carry on to the next arc. Long, I know.
Okay.
But yeah.
That is, yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like a lot of episodes.
Yep. And mate, it's got nothing on the one that Joe told me to watch, One Piece.
Well, how many's that got?
700.
700 episodes.
Yeah, and ongoing.
Ugh. Isn't there supposed to be a live action remake of that?
What, One Piece?
Yeah.
God. Can't
I don't know.
I don't know, maybe.
I don't know. The only anime I ever watch is the stuff you make us see.
Sorry, mate. Well, I didn't make us go and see Your Voice or Our Voice or whatever it's called.
That's true. Well, while we're on the subject of TV shows, Obi, you finished Shots Fired.
I have.
Yeah, shots you're firing at me the other day.
Next you're a waste man. So
Oh, I should have segued into that from paintball. Fuck! Can we redo it? Let's redo the whole first 11 minutes.
So, do you care if I spoil it?
No.
I'll go for it, mate.
But it does sound interesting. So we'll recap. But it's about if a black cop kills a white civilian. Is that right?
That's what happened. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, black cop kills white civilian, and they bring in like a district attorney and investigator to find out if it was a lawful killing or not. And then this gets a lot of the black people in the community angry because someone in their community was killed and no one knows who done it and the police weren't investigating it and everything. So basically they go through this whole mess and turns out like the police department is completely corrupt, and they had this thing like this program, I can't remember what it was called, but it was like where where like citizens of the community would basically get trained and then ride around with the policemen on their patrols to like kind of help out with the community sort of thing. And so but the policemen weren't training these people properly, and so they were like just taking them along with them and giving them firearms without any proper training and no like qualifications or certifications or anything like that. And they covered this up and they basically faked all like the documentation, yeah. And so the black policeman who knew about this was basically kind of like keeping it secret, so that he had like a silver bullet in case the police department decided to, you know, like drop him in it sort of thing, which they did.
Good shout.
So he gave the investigators all the information that he had about that. And one of the rich men in the community, basically, he accidentally shot a kid. And so like this kid used to be a drug dealer, but he wasn't anymore. And the police were just patrolling the area, like the places where they call the houses, which is like the ghetto, like really bad area. And they saw the kid, and so they just started the kid wasn't doing anything, but they just start chasing him in the police car. So the kid starts running, and then they catch up with him eventually, and they back him up against the wall. And he's like, "What have I done? I haven't done anything." And then he's like screaming, like, "Someone call my mum! Someone call my mum!" And they get him to the floor, and he's like resisting. And one of the policemen calls one of the civilians from the car, and he's like, "Come and arrest him." So the civilian comes out, tries to arrest him. The kid kicks him, and he ends up on the floor. And the civilian thinks he's reaching for his taser, but he's actually reaching for his gun, and he shoots him and kills the kid.
Wait, what? So the police went and got the civilian to arrest him?
Yeah, because they were like restraining him, and he was like coming handcuff him.
Right, okay,
Yeah.
we're right with you now.
Yeah, so they were like, he was like come and handcuff him, and so yeah,
This must have been a big kid.
Well, he was like a teenager, like he was like pretty tall, like a teenager. So yeah, there was like one of them. So yeah, he thought he was gonna get in that taser, but he actually shot him and killed him. And the policemen were like, kind of like, "Oh shit, like just leave him here," sort of thing. So they all got in the car and drove off. And then the policeman came back later, and then the kid was still there, like lying dead. And he said, and then he made it sound as if it was a drug related incident. And then he went to the kid's mum's house, planted drugs in planted drugs in the kid's room, and basically said, your kid's dead. If you chase this up, I'm gonna tell the police that you had drugs in your house, and I'm gonna take your other kid away. And so she was kind of like, oh fuck, I can't really do anything. So all that happened, and then I said last episode that there was video footage of the black policeman who shot the white kid saying like, I want to kill these crackers sort of thing. But then they released basically an unedited version of the clip, and he says that, and he says, oh, I'm just joking. Then he goes on about how he wants to protect the community and all stuff like that and help his people, blah blah blah. But then another video got released basically of the kid who got killed. Basically, he videoed the incident just before he got shot, and basically what happened is he disrespected the police officer. He was like kind of being like really dismissive, and when he asked him for his license, he like threw it on the floor and stuff like that. So then the police officer got angry, opened his car door, which you're not allowed to do in America, dragged the kid out the car, and then he did kind of just drag him out of the car and shoot him, but it was he claims that the kid tried to grab his gun, but you can't really see from the video that the kid's got on his iPhone. So, but it really just looked like he kind of just drags him out of the car, and then there's like a little mini second of kerfuffle, and then he just shoots him like 3 times.
This is deep, man.
Yeah, it's mad.
You're selling this.
Yeah.
I want to work.
So then that policeman gets indicted, and he goes to prison. We don't know whether or not. This is only one season, by the way. We don't know whether or not he has got off or gone to prison. But the white man who shot the civilian, admitted on live television that he killed this kid, gets indicted, goes to court and gets off free.
The white guy was not a cop.
Yeah, the civilian who shot the black kid
was just a rich white guy.
Yeah, literally just a rich white man. Owned loads of businesses. Was trying to build a prison in the community and make it so it was. He built a prison and he tried to make it with the governor of that city so that basically the police would search more people and make more arrests for less lenient crimes to fill up his prison so he gets more money, sort of thing. I don't know if that makes sense what I just said. But yeah, so then that guy gets put on trial and he gets off scot-free. And
it's kind of it's
quite reflective of
typical, isn't it?
Yeah,
like,
it's quite reflective of reality, to be honest.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then it kind of does the end, and like.
But do they say? It sounds like kind of social commentary, but is there anything they actually say about this whole situation and the police and stuff, or is it just kind of presenting how unjust it is, or does that kind of say, look, we need to change something?
Yeah, it could. They do that, but it's not really. They kind of like they're trying to actively in the program. They are trying to fix this problem, but I think it kind of shows that it's not as easy as. Excuse me again. Sorry, it's not as easy as some people might think it is. So, like they're trying their hardest, like to try and get these people, try and get everyone involved who was involved in like the crimes to go to prison. One of the I don't know if in case you guys watch it, I won't spoil one of the bits for you. So yeah, some shit goes down. There's double crossing, there's triple crossing, there's...
God.
Yeah, it's a good program. It's only 10 episodes as well.
Is it based on any truth?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I haven't researched it properly, so it might be.
Probably this sort of thing seems to happen all the time.
All the time.
Yeah. I don't know if there's any like American film or TV show that I can think of where they actually present the police as like decent.
It's either comedy. It's good TV though, isn't it?
It's like a comedy, like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, where it's like, you know, they're idiots, or it's like just corrupt, like The People versus O.J. Simpson.
To be fair, in The Wire, they're some of them are good people. Some of them are good, some of them are big.
Yeah, I mean, The Wire's like you're following, just kind of like the repetitive and how dull it is actually to be an investigator or an inspector or whatever. That was all cool, man. Yeah. But you also kind of following like the gang related bit as well. So like with Omar,
I really like that.
He's a criminal, but he steals from the guys who are selling drugs. Yeah. So he's like, I'm not really doing anything wrong. Yeah. I'm like robbing the robbers.
Yeah. So he's Robin Hood.
Robin Hood. Basically. Well, I mean, he keeps the money. He doesn't give it to other people.
Right. And he's in the program. He's gay, isn't he? So it kind of like breaks the stereotype of
Okay.
Typical.
But is The Wire every series is about the same people, or is it different people each time?
It's all interrelated because it's like it starts off as series 1. It starts off pretty much you're following like a small. I wouldn't really call it a gang, but they are pretty much a gang, aren't they? In like a small estate.
Yeah.
They're dealing drugs, but the cops are so invested in getting them that when they do get them, they realise they just have new kids. They just got new kids that go on the corners and they do the dealing.
Yeah.
So they're like, we're just going to go higher and higher, and so eventually up to season 3 and season 4, you're looking at like the actual suppliers. So it's like the kingpins of, which is like Idris Elba, I think.
Yeah. He's really. Do you know what? I didn't know Idris Elba was a British person, because I saw him in The Wire. I was like, oh, okay, this guy's like a typical like American person. Then I saw him in something, I don't know, something else, and I was like, he's got a fucking British accent. I was like, what's going on?
Luther?
Maybe, but yeah, and Michael B. Jordan's in it as well.
Okay.
In the first season.
Isn't Idris Elba in a new film coming out?
Well, there's one coming out called The Dark Tower.
Yeah.
Which
Isn't that
with
as
Matthew
well?
McConaughey.
Yeah.
And he also did that. He did a thing not too long ago, where he became not a professional boxer, but he was doing this thing. Where
I saw the
he was training to be a boxer, and he like did intense training for 69 months to become a boxer and fight in a competitive fight.
69 months.
6 to 9 months.
And did he actually fight?
I think he did fight, and I think he did actually win.
Fair
But
enough.
he looked, even after that training, he looked worn out after that.
To be fair,
He's quite old.
getting on a bit. Yeah, it's like
doing well.
mid-40s.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the thing about, because everyone's saying, oh, he could be the next James Bond, but they were saying, well, could be too old, even though Daniel Craig he's got to be late 40s.
He looks bare old.
He looks
Yeah.
like he's worn away.
Even Pierce Brosnan and Roger Moore. Who's the other one? Sean Connery.
There was
They're all-
there was one more. There was
they're
one
all
more,
pretty-
wasn't there?
George
pretty well.
Lazenby.
Yeah, was he in for one film,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Because of
But they're all pretty.
yeah.
They're all getting on a bit, you know.
Mm.
But yeah.
What shots fired?
Oh, I just thought actually prequels. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing a Kick-Ass prequel. Not about Kick-Ass though. About the dad,
Oh, Big Daddy.
Big Daddy.
Nicholas Cage.
Yeah.
Go child.
See, so in Community, one of the characters does a Nicolas Cage impression, and it is so funny. You should watch
love it.
Oh, you actually love that.
I like a page on Facebook and it's Nicolas Cage's
Oh, God.
Cage's face on things. Fantastic.
I think he's quite a good actor actually. I think he's quite good.
Really?
Yeah.
He's alright.
Fair enough.
Mate, I wanted him to be the Superman, mate.
I can't imagine him.
In Death of Superman, the film that Kevin Smith was going to make, I wanted him to be Superman.
Yeah.
And then it flopped. What a shame.
Well, talking of like police shows, I have watched the first series of a British show called Line of Duty. I don't know if anyone's seen that.
No.
But like, so I think series 3 is just finished, or maybe series 4, and it got like rave reviews. So I thought, oh, the first 2 were on Netflix, I'll start watching it. And it's about this. So you know the guy who plays Morgan in Walking Dead?
Mm-hmm.
I think his name's Lenny James. But he plays this cop, detective. I don't know all the different rankings, but he's like one of the higher ranking officers. And he's got a really close-knit team, all men. And they're all like, they're all so loyal to one another. And then he's basically having an affair with this businesswoman called Jackie Laverty, I think, and his name's Tony Gates. And essentially, the first episode is them just kind of in a cafe, kind of being like a couple. But at this point, you don't know he's having an affair. And then he... Then there's a robbery happening outside, and then he stops it, and then he basically gets this like Medal of Valor or something, like one of the highest policing awards that you can get. And then it sort of follows him and his department and AC-12, which is anti-corruption. So there's this officer called Steve Arnott, and he has just been transferred over to anti-corruption because he led a failed anti-terrorism raid, and it ended up in a civilian being shot. But he was given wrong orders. So he's been moved over because he won't kind of lie and say that it was his own fault. So he's now investigating Tony Gates because they think that his record is too perfect, and he's got like all the best crime figures, and so they think something's got to be wrong. And then a side kind of narrative, please tell me if I'm going too quickly, is this female police officer What's her name? I can't remember her name.
So
She's played by Vicky.
Glenn can't remember someone's name.
I know the actress's name.
God.
She's played by Vicky McClure, who's in like This Is England. Anyway, so she's trying to get into Tony Gates's clique, I guess, like his department, because it's just like a promotion. Eventually, she does, and she's like the only woman, so she's obviously everyone treats her with suspicion and a bit like, disdain. And eventually, so I don't know, anyone gonna watch it? Go on, spoil it.
Go on, spoil it.
So anyway, Jackie Leverty gets killed by this drug gang. It turns out that she, through her businesses, she's been laundering money for this drug dealer. And then Tony Gates was at her place when she gets killed, and they kind of plant the murder on him. And they say, you need to help us get back the money that we've been losing through the police investigation into this drugs ring. And then it turns out that Vicky McClure's character is undercover as AC-12, trying to also find information about Tony Gates. So it was a really quite interesting story, lots of different threads, lots of kind of, like you said, double crossing, triple crossing, and it was really interesting. But the acting was a bit naff. Like, there's a part where Tony Gates comes home and he's got these two daughters and they run to him and go, "Daddy," and I was like, it's so fucking cliched, man. Like, I hate that sort of shit. But anyway, so the conclusion is kind of inconclusive, which is what really annoys me, is because like throughout it you kind of think that Tony Gates is corrupt, or it swings between him being a good guy and trying to do the right thing, but he's also deeply flawed. But then right at the end, like, I'm not going to spoil the absolute ending for you, but it kind of says that, it basically, when you get at the end of a film, it will say, or like a documentary, it will say, and he was arrested and sent to prison and 10 years later died in prison or whatever.
Yeah.
That sort of thing happens. And I was like, A, this is fiction, so why is this happening? And B, the subtitles that kind of resolve everything weren't satisfactory for me, because it was like, oh yeah, this investigation's still ongoing, or this is still...
Maybe they just run out of money.
But I was just like, it's not a narrative conclusion. And then I started watching series 2, and obviously I haven't seen all the way through, but it doesn't directly relate. It's some same characters, but different kind of anti-corruption investigation. But I was just like, why would you make it inconclusive? It was so frustrating. You've invested 5 hours of your life, or however long the series is, and for it just to be like, in some sort of scribbled subtitles at the bottom, like, oh yeah, investigation's still ongoing, no one's been arrested. And like, what's the point of me just watching that entire series?
It's okay, mate. You do want to shout out to the writers and say, please, give me some closure.
Please get Glenn involved so Glenn can make an ending.
Yeah, proper conclusion. But I mean, up to that point, it was quite interesting. So, but then it made me think, like, and now I've been talking about like police procedurals and stuff. What's the best police procedural film or TV show?
The Bill.
The Bill. If we do any more, we'll get sued, right? Yeah. So what did you generally think The Bill's the best?
No, I never watched it.
You never watched it?
No, I watched like a handful of episodes, but that's fair.
But are there any, like, because you watch a lot of kind of police procedurals, don't you?
There are a lot.
I'm trying to think.
And so like True Detective, really good.
I haven't actually seen that, but apparently it's good. Yeah.
What,
when
series
you say,
one or just in general?
When you say police, do you mean actual police or detective work?
Well, it could be like a detective, it could be American police or British police.
Well, I watch if the FBI count.
Yeah?
Yeah, so like I watch Criminal Minds, which is kind of like a police procedural thing, which I think you'd probably quite like.
Okay.
Because it can get a bit, not gory, but a bit like, I don't know.
It does get pretty disturbing,
yeah.
I'd say.
So I think you'd actually quite like, they kind of like get into the psyche of criminals sort of thing,
okay,
which I find quite interesting. But yeah, that's quite good.
Oh, Lied to Me.
Lied to Me. Yeah, Lied to Me is really good actually. To be fair.
CSI. Did any of you watch CSI?
No, I didn't actually.
Classic.
No.
That was Channel 5. Boom. Nice.
Does anyone watch Channel 5?
Not anymore.
Big Brother, mate.
It's because
Is it not?
CSI's not on anymore.
Well, I was thinking, like, I don't know if I've spoken about before the show The Missing. Like, that was quite good. That was.
I don't remember you saying something about
that. Was kind of an investigative story. That was quite interesting. In terms of films, I guess 21 Jump Street, if that counts. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the thing I was watching.
Quantico's decent.
Favorite.
If I only
Bloodline.
watched the first season. I'm the lead star in that in Baywatch. That'll be a normal segue.
Okay.
But yeah, that's okay.
Did anyone ever watch The Following? No?
No.
That was like a Kevin Bacon. He was the detective, and he was after this serial killer called Joe something. I can't remember his surname, but it's just like a cat and mouse between them. Like, you know, that they've had this kind of quote unquote relationship about, you know, Kevin Bacon's character's after the serial killer and then locks him up, but he can't get over that. Once that part of his life is over, he can't get past it. He always keeps thinking about them, and they've got this kind of weird sort of friendship.
Batman and the Joker.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of not Stockholm syndrome, but they have this weird sort of dependence on one another. But that's a really good kind of gory TV cop show.
Fair enough.
Yeah. What about
What was that called? The Following.
The Following?
The Following.
I got them on DVD if you want to borrow them.
Check it out, mate.
Yeah, but you've been watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So
I've been watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine, yeah.
Good show.
Love it. You've seen it then?
I've seen a few bits and pieces of it.
So I smashed it out in, I think 9 days. I've done 4 seasons.
Oh shit! Wow.
What, you finished the 4th season?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I haven't finished it yet.
Oh, okay.
I haven't started series 4 yet.
But apparently, so there is going to be a 5th season.
Oh, there is?
Yeah, because they leave it on a really good cliffhanger.
Okay.
So they were like, oh my god, fans are going to be well disappointed if we don't have a follow-up season.
Yeah.
Apparently it is nearing its end though.
Yeah, I can see that. It's just, comedy of following, what is it, 2, 4, 6 detectives. Terry Crews playing Terry, which I like. And yeah, man, it's just funny.
Yeah.
Like, I love to see that kind of quirky side of the police, even though you know it's not like that.
Yeah. Don't you think
But it just makes it so appealing.
Captain Holt? Don't you think Captain Holt is just like...
He's hilarious.
Yeah, like just like...
He's a robot.
the fact he has no emotion.
There's that part in series 3 when doesn't he tells a joke and then he says to his superior, he's like, "That was so unprofessional.
Yeah.
I'm terribly sorry." And it's just like it's so stupid but so funny.
Yeah.
And then like the guy who plays Charles Boyle,
Yeah.
he's so like the kind of weird naivety he says when he says like innuendos and doesn't get them.
And like how he thinks like Jake is like his best friend like in the whole entire world. And he just like fucking loves him off like every episode. It's hilarious. But yeah. I need to finish that actually because I stopped. It's another one that I was watching like steadily and I just stopped watching.
You were watching way too many seasons.
I was going to say, yeah,
series.
I'm in the midst of several.
I've got so much stuff to catch up on. I've got that.
100.
New Girl, 100, Last Man on Earth,
Scandal.
Scandal.
Is it fair to say
Tattoo
though?
Murder.
Good Wife.
Good Wife.
Powerless. No.
Do you think it's
Power?
Power. No, not Power.
No.
I've got Power.
Do you think it's fair to say though that when you've got several TV shows on the go, that the ones that tend to slip are the comedies because they're just easy watching?
Yeah.
Whereas you get like
100%.
properly invested into like a
100%.
deep narrative like Shots Fired or something, which you smashed out in a week or so. But yeah,
I don't really watch too many comedies. Started watching Masters of None. That's pretty funny, but
I thought you watched like Big Bang Theory, all sorts of.
I haven't watched it since like season 8.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, talking of TV shows, there's a new series of House of Cards, which I have yet to see, and so very selfishly, so we're not going to spoil it.
Free. Yeah.
Spoiler, the first spoiler-free thing we've had for a while. So
how the hell are we going to do a spoiler-free House
Just
of Cards?
talk like generally.
Okay, so
whether it's good, whether it's bad, like,
definitely.
When did this new season come out?
Last Monday.
So is it following? So he is the president.
He
he's
is currently the president because he took over from the president who got
Garrett Walker.
Yeah, so he's had 2 years. Now he's going up for election to be president for the full 4 years.
And you think that this is going to be his downfall season, don't you? Like everything's going to come out and.
Well,
I mean,
we never know.
I watched 5 episodes, so I won't say too much. But the first episode definitely shows what direction he wants to take his presidency campaign in.
I'll tell you what, the first 5 minutes of the before they do like the little intro theme song and all that first period, I was watching it, I was like, because I was a bit tired when I watched the first episode. As soon as that first 5 minutes, I was like, fucking hell, I'm in. Like, it fucking got me, like, like Frank Underwood, Kevin Spacey, man. He literally gripped me and I was like, fucking hell, I'm watching this.
It's
I'm awake now.
like you were saying the other day though, they've made him, they've on purposely made him look aged.
Yeah, he's gone really.
Oh, really?
He's great, yeah.
I think they've done it on purpose because I think they need to show that, like, regardless of the corruption, that being president does take a strain, I think, and showing that someone's got grey hair and looks slightly older, and his health condition throughout is a bit suspect.
But he was shot though.
I was just about to say it might be because he's been shot or because he's unhealthy.
Is that kind of showing the cracks? Because surely, you could dye your hair and you could,
I don't know. Have you seen those before and after photos of Obama?
Yeah, it's bad, isn't it? Even not fair though.
He's like stressed.
If you go from when he left office to now, he looks happy as fuck. Like he looks like he's de-aged like 10
the thing is with like Obama, like, see, there's a lot of things that he wanted to go through, and everyone was really against it, and so it's probably quite stressful to do that.
But he's living now. He's gone on holiday.
Well, he's worked like probably non-stop for 8 years. 100%. Like you can't have a day off, really.
No, you probably don't sleep.
Now he's set. He's like done my bit.
Let him live.
The thing is, for me, like in House of Cards, because obviously I've watched what was I on? Episode 6. Yeah. So have I watched episode 6? What was it?
No. Well, I don't know. Chris, you tell me.
No, I don't know. You saw the TV with me.
Just started.
I was just alright. Okay, so like, there's still a lot that they left off from season 4, which they haven't touched on yet, and you can really see that being like the good crux of the TV series. Still, it's very campaigny at the moment.
Okay.
But I suppose that's what it's got to be. And if you remember from last series, they're trying to push for Claire to be vice as well as him be president.
Okay. So, yeah. Anything to add, Obes?
I don't like the guy who writes the speeches. I feel like
Seth. Is that his name?
Yeah, I think.
Is it Tom?
Tom. It's Tom.
Seth's the guy who does the speeches.
Yeah, Seth is sorry. Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah,
sorry,
so he's talking about Tom who writes the book.
The book writer. So
you are right though. Seth is the speaker.
Seth's a prick as well. But no, I'm talking about Tom. I feel like he's gonna do something that's gonna fuck everything up. I don't know what it would be, but I just feel like he's gonna do something stupid.
Yeah, he looks evil.
Just needs to keep having orgies, right?
But yeah, I've watched first 2 episodes and
I can't wait to start it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, because I fell asleep last night and I got up and I was like, oh, do you know what? I'm gonna watch some, and I smashed through like 3 episodes, totally forgetting they're an hour long.
Yeah.
Like I was like, surely I'm through to episode 10 by now, and it was like, no, only on episode 4.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, I'm making myself finish watching Kimmy Schmidt before I start House of Cards, but Kimmy Schmidt's on.
Mate, do you watch Orange New Black though?
No.
Oh, okay, that's alright then, because that comes out next week.
So many things coming out. I'm just waiting for Game of Thrones. That's all I'm waiting for.
Shit, man. It's only like a month.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, it's June already, man.
Better catch up with everything else before that comes
out. It's going to be over in a month and a half.
Don't say that!
Yeah, sorry, mate. And then you've got a year to wait.
Oh, God, if there was no spoilers, I'd wait that 2 months and just binge watch it all.
Yeah, there's no way you're getting away from spoilers for that.
No.
I don't think, even if there wasn't spoilers, I don't think I'd be able to wait.
I rewatched the trailer again today.
Did you?
Yeah. So I was like, getting in the zone.
Good.
Getting ready. I might, finish or rewatch season 6.
I want to rewatch the last episode.
Yeah, I think I might rewatch the last episode.
Just it was so good.
Yeah, but and Battle of the Bastards.
Yeah. Battle of the Bastards, yeah.
Nah, just the last episode. Too many hours, man. Too many hours to consume.
It was ridiculous television.
No, I can't do it. Can't do it.
Okay, well, on to movies. So, can you give us a lowdown on Baywatch? Was a TV show, now a film.
Yeah.
Full of beautiful people.
In the style of 21 Jump Street.
So, like, it's really, like, it's completely different from the TV show. The TV show is like a drama. And they kind of make,
reference.
Yeah, reference it and make a joke about it, like, in the film. Saying, like, so, like, The Rock says about all these things that they've done before. Zac Efron's character shows up.
Oh, right.
And like, all these stuff.
Brody.
Yeah, Brody. And so yeah.
Does Dwayne Johnson's character have the same name as?
Literally canon, yeah.
It's like CJ.
Yeah, CJ's.
I never watched it.
All the character names are exactly the same as the ones that were on the TV show. So yeah, they make reference to the fact that it was the TV show was quite soap opera-y. So it was kind of like a procedural. It was kind of like basically like a police procedural, but with lifeguards. But yeah, that was really like quite drama.
They had the theme tune. It was quite short.
Yeah,
but I was so happy that they had it.
This is the thing. I was like, they have to put it in there, wasn't we sucks. They put it in for a few seconds. I was like, yeah, that's good.
Great cameos
good
as well.
Cameos.
Hasselhoff
and Pamela Anderson make good cameos. But I liked it. I thought it was funny. Do you know what I mean?
Had good funny moments.
Yeah,
man,
there was plenty of moments where I was just like, this is so stupid. But I'm laughing.
The thing is, when we went to watch, who did I watch it with? You. Yeah. When we went to watch it, I I thought it was gonna be like a really bad storyline, but the storyline was actually all right. Like it was like redemption for someone.
Well, kind of.
Normal procedure for someone else. But you saw everything coming. The thing is, you saw everything coming.
Yeah, there's one thing that I was just like, but yeah, no, I'll talk about it in a bit.
The bitter ending is pretty sceptical on whether they would get away with that.
That's literally what I'm about to say, but we'll get to that in a minute. So like, yeah, Zac Efron's character is a disgraced Olympian who's like
Party animal.
Yeah, party animal. Lost. He's like won like 2 gold medals, but he fucked up the relay race.
Selfish, isn't
Yeah,
he?
because
he threw up
went
in the
out
pool.
partying the night before. Yeah, threw up and stuff, and he fucked out basically. So he's like poor. He's got no money, so he has to do community service, and he goes to like Baywatch. And yeah, basically nobody likes him because he's a bit of an arsehole. But
they all love the look of him.
Yeah, gets on the team, and they're all like, in traditional Baywatch style, they're all like kind of like trying to solve crime sort of thing. And Zac Efron's kind of like, why are we doing this? Like, we're not police. Like,
Which sounds
which
really smart.
Yeah,
It
which
sounds
is
like, what the hell?
completely justified. And even the policeman on scene is like telling them like, you're lifeguards. You're not supposed to be doing these things. I'm a policeman. You have no jurisdiction here. You're not officers of the law. Which is like, I was thinking, this is completely like, it's nice that they add a bit of, obviously it's funny, but they add a bit of like reality to
like
the
self-referential. Yeah.
So like.
So now across the country, they're going to be coast guards and lifeguards that are like solving all kinds of crime.
But yeah, so that's they fight. There's this woman who played by Priyanka Chopra, who is the star of Quantico, and she's basically selling drugs on the beach, and she's trying to get everyone to sell her their land, their property, or something like that. So
basically, so she wanted to own all the property on the beachfront so that she could basically, I think,
so she could just control
it all and bring in and out her drugs with ease.
Okay.
I think, and there was only one building left, and it was like some bloke who had a casino or something, and she captured him.
So yeah, that's all that crap's happening. She's got like all the policemen, well not all the policemen, but lower policemen and the lifeguard like chief or whatever. She's got them on like her payroll and stuff like that. So they framed Dwayne Johnson's character, and
I was sad about that. I was sad to see that. I was like, oh.
And he has to go like work in like a phone shop.
Yeah, man. I felt it was really like Fast and Furious when he's like, we're Baywatch family.
Yeah.
Oh, not another family.
Did they make a Vin Diesel reference in there?
I've no idea.
Oh, maybe it was in a.
He does, yeah.
Yeah, it was.
He's like, I shaved my head like me and Vin Diesel both shave our heads.
Yeah, something like that.
I'm
I'm sure.
No, I understand.
But like Brody has to take over, and he doesn't want to, but then he does anyway. And
takes over the investigation.
Yeah, and then he mans up and he does what Baywatch people should do and solves the crime. Apparently,
basically,
Okay.
yeah. And that's pretty much the story. Eventually, they solve the crime. They get the bad lady.
It's like a really simple good versus evil like detective.
Yeah.
the thing is as well that like first 25 minutes in, you see this fish or it's this sea urchin, and it's like, if it stabs you, you will die, but you have a rush of adrenaline before you die, and like that's,
so you know that's going to pay off at some point.
Yeah, it pays off at some point. Yeah, like you will know, like if you watch the film, you will know when it will come back again. That's the thing. Like,
Okay, well, that was kind of non-spoilery, so let's go into spoiler territory then.
I mean, that was pretty spoilery.
I don't know how you
really.
can...
That was quite round the houses, I
So
think.
we want spoilers now.
So you said something about the ending was
So
spoilers to follow.
yeah, so Dwayne Johnson kills Priyanka Chopra, her character,
With a massive firework.
Yeah, with a firework. Basically, he shoots a firework into it and just blows her up and kills her.
That's it. Zac Efron was like, that wasn't too bad. And then her leg just falls on top of him, and he's like, ah!
Yeah, so like that happens, and me and Chris was just kind of like, when did he go to prison? Like is that justified? Because he's not an officer of the law, like I was saying. So like, is that completely justified? Or like, whatever,
Yeah.
cool. So yeah, that happens. I mean, there's not really much else to spoil, really.
Yeah.
There was a bit where, one of her henchmen, when he was running away, from the morgue with the phone.
With the phone, right? Yeah.
And I was just like, just chuck the phone into the river. Like, so he has this phone.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
He has this evidence, this
Oh
phone,
my
and he's
God.
just sprinting away from the people, and they're all chasing him. And he gets some jet ski, and he's flying through his fucking jet ski into someone's house, and him and Dwayne Johnson just start fighting in someone's fucking house.
Do you know, I didn't think of that, but I did think, why didn't Dwayne Johnson just go into, when he threw him out the window, why didn't he just pick up the phone out of his pocket and give it to the police?
He broke it before that.
Yeah, but I know he broke it, but maybe there's a way of, like, he didn't even think about it, like...
Maybe, yeah.
Don't know.
But yeah, the guy literally just breaks the phone, and I was thinking, like...
I mean, that was pretty impressive in itself.
It was, but he waited all that time to get chased by The Rock and to fight him, when you could have literally just chucked it in the mirror as soon as you...
So this was like at the beginning of their investigation, wasn't
Yeah.
it? And there were 2 pieces of evidence that they had because they were in the morgue, and they were finding out how essentially one of the councilmen, they found out, or at the morgue they find out that he was murdered.
Yeah.
So they have 2 key pieces of evidence. One being on the phone, which is a recording of the henchman coming in and swapping the files. So they could have had either the file or the phone, and no one thought to go back and get the file, which I...
What the...
The original.
Yeah, I don't know.
What
Because
happened?
they
What
swapped
happened?
I don't know what happened to... They did say something, like... oh, I
Yeah,
can't remember.
they were standing with the chief lifeguard, and he was
Yeah.
like, "What the hell are you doing?" And they were like, "Oh, where's the evidence? The phone, it's broken. The
Yeah.
file. What
No,
happened to the file?"
Yeah, I don't know.
Also, they were so unhelpful to Zac Efron. Like, they're both sitting in a nice cushy little... Well, not cushy, but they're sitting in the incinerator tray things, or wherever you get put dead bodies. And he's lying there, and like residue from a dead body is falling on him.
To his face.
And instead of them not going, like, they were just telling him to shut up, instead of saying to him, do you know what you could do? Pull your mask over your mouth.
That's in the trailer, isn't it?
Yeah.
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 Oh,
I
that's
like that.
And he has to,
funny.
like, Zac Efron has to like. So they go to the dead body of the councilman, and The Rock is like checking his wounds to see like how he died, kind of thing. And he's like to Zac Efron like, check his tape, which is like the little bit between your arsehole and
Your gooch.
and your gooch basically. And he's like, no, I'm not gonna do that. And he's like, just do it. And so he's like lifting up this guy's knob like with his hand, with his hand. And then he was like, "There's clubs there. You didn't tell me there were clubs. Here's the clubs." He was lifting up this guy's like crack and just like looking around, and The Rock is just like taking pictures of it.
Do you know what was really good though? It's actually something that Ollie mentioned a couple of podcasts ago. Like, it was Rush Hour-esque at the end, so they did all the bloopers
man.
in the thing, which was pretty good
okay.
actually.
Yeah.
Like, and they were all laughing. Like, as it
That
was,
tends to mean that film's pretty shit, right?
What are you saying about Rush Hour?
I don't know.
I fucking love Rush
I
Hour.
know,
right?
Yeah.
But no,
Bit nice, Glenn.
yeah.
It's just a bit
I've not
nice.
seen it.
there's just lots of. Oh, you haven't seen Rush Hour? Oh, you should watch it, man. It's good. But
All there.
there's just lots of like just stupid,
Oh, can
really
I say-
stupid, funny moments. Go on.
CJ. Oh.
So
Oh.
aesthetically,
great.
CJ is a beautiful woman.
aesthetically,
She is-
this
she is a
film
goddess.
is a near perfect. So obviously, if you like men, if you like women, if you like whatever, like all the actors and actresses in this film are like 8s and 9s and 10s
Like
out of 10.
punks.
Like literally,
Wow.
the one who plays CJ. Not the.
Wow.
Yeah, sorry, there's one. What's his guy's name? Ronnie.
Ronnie.
Who? Yeah.
The,
When he gets his dick-
He's the one.
Randall.
Yeah.
Mate,
It's not
he got a
strapped.
boner and he
Basically, he's choking, and CJ comes over and gives him the Heimlich maneuver.
He's got a big crush on her.
Yeah, and he
Yeah.
got massive crush on her, and he gets a boner.
I think anyone does, to be honest, but
And she's like, "Are you alright?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm fine." So he like jumps on this bench to hide his boner, and obviously the bench like crushes his knob.
it goes between the slats.
And he's just like, everyone's just watching him work, and it's like his dick starts swelling up, so he can't get it back
Oh.
through the slot. So everyone's just watching him trying to get his knob through this thing. And they're like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna have to pull it out." He's like, "No, don't touch it." And he like runs and trips and basically falls and breaks it and everything, and his knob just falls there. It's pretty
But a
funny.
happy ending for all of them.
Happy, yeah,
They
he-
all
yeah.
have the
He
crush.
gets with her. in
They
the
all
end.
get the crush. Oh
But
man.
yeah, the one who plays CJ is hot. Kelly. Is her name Kelly? No.
Kelly.
Not
Kelly is the one who's plays CJ.
Sorry.
Are you
The one
talking
is
about
Alexandra Daddario, whoever she plays.
Mate, she has some beautiful eyes.
Can't remember her fucking name in the
Beautiful
TV
eyes.
show. The woman who plays, I think, what's her name? Sky?
Stephanie, wasn't it?
Stephanie.
She is fit as well.
Yeah, she's fit. Prank Chop's fit. But I was like, this is good.
Alright.
Yeah.
So, it sounds like you would recommend it then.
Yeah,
I'll give it a
what's
solid 7.
yeah. For what it
Really?
is. For what it is.
For what it
Because
is.
this
For what it
film,
is,
like, so in the actual, so obviously we're average critics, but in like the quote unquote professional critic circles, like some
I think we're
publications
there
are
now.
giving it 1 star and others are giving it 4.
Well,
So where do you sit
I
in
could
the-
see why they gave it 1 star,
For
but then
5.
Mm.
yeah,
Okay.
I could see why they gave it 1 star because
Why would you say that then?
because it's not serious. It's just like it's just a.
It's just silly.
It's just silly.
It's,
Yeah, but
it
then
is a
so's
comedy, isn't
Yeah.
it?
21
So
Jump
it's like-
Street.
This is it. I think a lot of critics don't take it for what it is. Like we are doing right now.
Yeah.
Like they just see it as right, is it cinematically good? Is the camera shots good? Is the dialogue good? Is the story good? And in fact, the story's probably not the greatest story, so that's probably why it's got knocked down. Like,
I think that kind of worked in its favour though, because it's so simple, and like actually they had a lot of really decent actors.
Yeah.
So
it's a bit cliche as well.
I agree. Like, I agree with you. Like, I think it was pretty decent.
Yeah.
By your reaction to this, I don't think you'll like it.
Why? I love 21 Jump Street.
I think you will like it.
Okay, so how does it compare to 21 Jump Street?
21 Jump Street's much better.
Much better, miles.
Much better. But like,
it's a whole different
But
film.
if you like that, you'd like this.
Yeah, I think so.
No, you're not sure?
I'm not sure you like it.
Okay. Why
Watch
do you
it.
not think I would like it?
Because
Too
you're
much
weird.
right now.
You're weird at what you like and what you don't like.
We said there's a severed leg, so that's already like...
Yeah, that's already
Right
your...
up there.
Yeah, true.
So, you know...
It's later on in the film, though.
Oh, damn it.
It's,
very late
it's
on.
quite a bit of sexual innuendo as well.
Okay, in your endo.
Oh, hey.
Well, alright, so obviously this film is full of beautiful people, but the main characters are male. Would you... I mean, obviously it's difficult because we're all male here, but would you argue that this film is kind of not equal, but, you know, it's not just leering at the beautiful women? Like, is there an equal amount?
To be fair,
I think
Zac Efron in it is fucking showing off
Ripped,
the muscles
mate.
left, right, and centre. He is
Also-
ripped to shred.
I
like,
don't think he looked comfortable. He looked like he was on roids left,
big.
right, and centre.
Like, I was with his
Nah,
price.
apparently he just did...
He's ripped
so
to
much training
shreds.
beforehand.
Like, it's mad.
Okay, so
The
there's...
thing is, the story doesn't really... It has little side stories about the others, but the main story is just about Zac Efron and Dwayne Johnson.
So the female characters are basically just there for scenery.
But they are strong characters.
They are strong
like,
characters,
I mean,
yeah.
Okay.
The villain,
the
the villains,
Kingpin, yeah.
Right, fair enough.
And then- Like, you don't really... It touches upon a love interest between The Rock and Stephanie. Is it Stephanie?
Yeah.
But you don't really see anything of it, which is kind of... Maybe I should have done a bit more of that.
Okay.
Then there's this whole thing where Zac Efron's trying to get Alexandra Daddario to like him. She's being very
Summer. Her name's Summer. Sorry.
being very coy about it. Is that the right word? She's not really. You can, from when he does this exercise bit, you can see that she thinks, oh yeah, he's quite good looking. But then when he tries it on with her, she's a bit like, well, no.
He's a
Hard to
total
get.
douchebag.
Yeah, because he was being a bit of a douchebag. Because there's a bit in the trailer where he just like looks at her boobs, and she's like, "Are you looking at my boobs?" And he's like,
I don't know what else.
I am
Do
now.
you guys think there's going to be a second one?
Probably not.
Really?
I'd like there to be a second one, but realistically, probably not, because I don't think he did that well at the box office.
Oh.
So.
I'd watch.
I thought there would be.
I'd watch a second
I
one,
would
but I
watch
don't
the
think there will be.
So the thing with Zac Efron and Dwayne Johnson, they do so many films.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I know.
Well, Dwayne Johnson
He
got
rattles
the
them out.
hardest
Yeah.
working man in...
yeah,
Hollywood.
well, he's got Rampage. He's got that not Zaphora, but like Jumanji,
Oh shit.
which is apparently not a remake, but actually a sequel.
Yeah.
No.
Dunno.
Yeah.
But he's also in talks to play one of the DC villains.
Yeah, Black Adam, apparently, and he's
So-
in Marvel, isn't he?
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Oh, God, yeah. Well, he's in loads.
Then there'll be Fast and Furious 400, so... Yeah. Alright, well, alright, so is this film... Would you reckon females would like this film then?
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
So it's not just a lad's film.
Stare at Zac
Yeah,
Efron,
yeah.
admire beautiful ladies. Yeah, man.
Also, I want to say, so you know there's kind of been these rumours for the last few years that Men in Black and 21 Jump Street are going to cross over.
Yeah.
Do you feel like this film would probably be better suited to cross over with 21 Jump Street? Because they
I
kind of...
Yeah.
actually think, yeah.
Because I kind of feel
Because
like...
it's following like the drugs and like the.
Yeah, I
Exactly.
actually think
It
it would.
kind of
Poor
seems
cop.
like...
What better
Detective.
than Men in Black anyway?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Men in Black's a family film, right? Whereas 21 Jump Street's quite sweary. But then also,
They swear quite a bit.
In the same
Baywatch,
vein-
don't worry.
Baywatch was a family TV show.
True.
And this is quite an adult film. So do you feel like that's to the detriment of it? Because if you were a Baywatch fan, you think, oh, there's finally a movie. Like, would you not kind of think, well, what have they done with this?
I don't really think you can do a Baywatch film if you base it on what the TV show was like. You can't really do it justice in the film because
Okay.
it's not long enough basically.
I've never seen a TV series.
Thing for me as well.
Baywatch,
Like,
yeah, it was quite
that,
good.
that 21 Jump Street
Yeah.
Men in Black thing, that was a rumour like 4 years ago, or whatever it was. Like, I don't know where it even stemmed from. Like, it was so random to like have them two smashed together.
Yeah.
But I think it could be quite funny.
I don't think it'd work. Because you've got Men in Black's PG. This is like...
Yeah,
21 Jump
but
Street's 15.
forget about it being PG, because you know if it's
But
21 Jump Street.
either way, you're gonna exclude one half your audience. If you make
But
it
they
a 15
did that.
rated
But they
film,
did that with Baywatch, then, didn't they?
well, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what is it gonna is it to the detriment of it, or is it just you got to take it? As something
Well,
different?
I think if they're going to turn Baywatch into this family-friendly TV series to a not so family-friendly movie, they could probably just do the same with Men in Black.
Okay.
There were some serious issues in Baywatch, to be fair. It wasn't completely family friendly. There's some serious stuff happening in it as well.
What, in the TV series?
TV series,
yeah,
yeah.
obviously, because there's like, I'm assuming there's crimes and stuff that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not. I mean, I don't know. Like,
Best TV intro ever.
I mean,
Best TV intro.
No.
21,
Ever.
23
Ever.
Jump Street, whatever it is, Men in Black, other crossover. If it ever happens, I don't know. Be interesting. I mean, Channing Tatum was meant to be playing Gambit for the last like 7 years. So God knows if that will happen.
Yeah. Is he a Marvel or DC villain? Or hero?
He's X-Men,
Oh, okay.
Marvel,
Fair enough.
or Fox.
Right. Well, the other big release this week.
Yeah,
Yes, love it.
I knew you would not like this film. I knew it.
What? I never said I didn't like it.
So it's Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman, right? So Wonder Woman is.
I can hear the upset in your voice.
Can I just say they used that music so much in the film?
They didn't use it. I didn't use it as much as I thought they would.
Are you joking?
Anyway, that's the electric.
Like
cello.
every fight scene that she was about to get into, it's like.
But alright, so Wonder Woman is the latest DC extended universe film, following on from Man of Steel, Suicide Squad, and Batman vs Superman.
P.S. Glenn's opinion's invalid because he likes Suicide Squad.
Shut the fuck up.
True
Mhm.
point.
So it's following Diana Prince.
Yeah.
Is that her name? She's an Amazon goddess.
She's only Diana, but they
slash-
name her Diana Prince when she gets the
True.
thing.
So she's an Amazon princess / daughter of
Goddess.
Zeus, who she thinks she was made from clay, which is kind of funny. So it starts off. It's
Practical joke, got you.
so it's an origin story, right? But so it follows over from when she's a little girl on not Thessalonica, but something like Themyscira.
Can't remember
Yeah,
what
that's it.
Themyscira.
Themyscira.
I think Thessalonica is actual Greece, but yeah. So she's like on this colony of women, this island that apparently has been protected from the rest of the world by Zeus, because the backstory to it is that Zeus made the Amazons and Ares, who's the god of war, and he's corrupted man and made man evil, like mankind. But
So
not
he got
just
jealous,
men.
didn't he?
Yeah. So anyway, so then Chris Pine, who's a World War II American soldier, washes up on the island, and then from this, Diana gets involved. She wants to stop World War II because she thinks that Ares is behind it as the god of war. So it kind of follows them and their band of brothers, I guess, trying to stop foil a gas, the gas leak.
Yeah,
Someone
mustard gas or
that
something.
this woman Isabella something is trying to create a gas that will kill people, and then there's another guy who I can't remember his name because he was so insignificant, but he sniffs some gas and
Ludogorets.
Ludogorets, yeah.
I know that's not his name, but that's what I was thinking of.
Ludwig van Ludogorets, I don't know. Yeah, and then that's it.
Well, in my opinion, it's probably the better one of the newest releases of
I
DC
agree.
films.
That really doesn't say much. That is damning with faint praise.
Well, damning, but still a
But still
progressive
but
step.
still true.
Progressive step
Step
to
in the
the
right
future.
Step in the right direction.
I don't know what people really expected of it because, again, she is a goddess, so not a lot's gonna hurt her.
No, but we must say
No.
that this film, like across the board so far, has been really well received.
Yeah.
Like Rotten Tomatoes, like IMDb. Like,
I feel like they've given it way more praise than it should have.
is that just because the DC film's been so shit?
Well, then they shouldn't be critics. It shouldn't be criticised based on that.
but
you
do
should
you have
criticise
to?
it.
You have to put it in.
You put
Do
it in perspective of what the film is, but not perspective of how bad the franchise has done so far.
But inevitably that's going to happen, right?
Mm.
So should we view this film as a film in comparison to the rest of the films ever, right? Or should we put some comparison to the other?
I think you can do
few?
both. I think you can do both.
I already did that when we were talking earlier. When I put it in the chat me and Ollie had seen it before you two had seen it. I put it in the chat several different ratings based on
Okay.
whether it was or wasn't in this.
What would your ratings be then? So as a DC film, you said it's the best DC film yet.
But in the newest releases of
Yes.
films.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the DC extended universe,
Well,
what would you?
considering I'd give Suicide Squad probably a 5.
Oh my god.
Same with probably Man of Steel, and then
Mate,
Batman
5's high.
vs Superman probably 5.5. I think this is probably in the region of 6.57 because it's definitely a massive step up. Because the only reason I give it that is because the war side of it was pretty good, and I like war films, although a bit exaggerated because she does then jump into battle and just beats everyone pretty much. I feel like Chris Pine was really good in it.
I really like Chris Pine.
Yeah.
No homo, he's actually really good looking.
I also want to say there's undoubtedly going to be spoilers.
I'm just saying, he's a good looking man.
As the story goes, I feel like the ending was maybe a bit shoddy. Like, right, fair enough, we all expected Ares to turn up at some point.
Oh, but they love their big old fight scenes, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Oh, and
I
cheesy.
feel like it was just
Cheesy too.
unnecessary because, I mean, I don't know Wonder Woman in depth, so I don't know if she has that ability at the end to, like, just construct stuff and chuck it. Because she did, didn't she? He was constructing his armour and then she just did something and everything happened. And
She just puts her arms together like.
She's a goddess. He's a god.
lightning.
She's a goddess. So you imagine she'd have similar powers to him. Innit?
True, but she's part human.
Is she?
Is she?
She
Her
was made...
mum's an Amazonian.
What Amazonians?
Amazonians aren't humans.
Okay, she's part Amazonian, part god.
Yeah.
While Ares is full god.
Do we know that?
We don't know. You don't know who Ares' mum is, to be fair.
Do we know that Diana is like the bio? Was she born or was she just created? Because
I think she was born.
She was
because her mum says that she was created from clay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Lied.
So that's not. Yeah,
I'm sure that her-
Hippolyta, whatever her name is, actually physically gave. So like Zeus kind of did a god, and you know.
I think so. I'm pretty sure.
impregnated her.
I'm pretty
She's
sure.
like, I'm still a virgin.
I'm pretty sure she's part Amazon and part god, and I'm pretty sure Ares is full god because I'm pretty sure Zeus and who's not being funny. Who's Hercules' mum?
I don't know. I can't think of any.
She was a god,
Greek.
wasn't she?
No, Hercules. Hercules is half god, half human as well.
Oh shit. Okay. Well then, there you go.
Can I say, I just want to jump in and say, because Obi, you like the film and you can say everything that you loved about it. The one thing that really bugged me was that the Germans were speaking in English.
Yeah.
And that really
Oh,
irritates
God.
me.
Yeah.
And it's just such a poor thing to do on a, like...
This is where you can
a World War
understand Sam
movie.
Jackson, right?
Oh.
You're like, this German actors who are unemployed because Chris Pine is going, Guten Tag, how are you, my friend?
Yeah, but it wasn't Chris Pine.
I know, but all the other Americans going, yes, I am the German.
Oh, that was just so painful.
It was quite bad.
Yeah, it's fine.
But Obes, you liked it, didn't you?
I thought it was alright. You know what I mean?
You
Was
love
it-
those war movies and
I do.
superheroes. So it's like Captain America, right?
Yeah.
Caveat, this is Captain America.
I thought you'd like it because of Captain America. It's pretty much.
It's not. I didn't like it because of Captain
No,
America.
but it's
I like it
similar.
because I think it's a decent film. Do you know what I mean? It's not great. It's not shit. I gave it a 6.5 out of 10. I think it's alright.
Yeah.
Slightly above average.
Is that 6.5? Would you still say that, like, is that rating the same as within the context of DCEU?
That's just as a film.
But so Chris said it would be a 6.5, 7 within the DCEU, and you said 6.5 as a general film.
Yeah.
Would your rating go up if you're putting it in the context of DC?
It's probably a 7.5 in the context of DCU.
Okay. And what would you say in general?
But I'm giving like the other films like
6.5.
4s and 5s.
Okay.
So
Oh, well, so alright, so you both liked it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Ollie, what was your opinion of it? You weren't that bothered, were you?
I agree with these two guys. I'll probably say that it's probably one of the better ones that the DC have had. I thought they did Wonder Woman actually quite a bit of justice
Mhm.
because she showed up in, what was the last one we saw with Doomsday, and she fought
Batman vs
Batman.
Superman.
Yeah, my god, that was shit.
yeah, it's
But
terrible.
she would I never thought Wonder Woman would be like a pretty cool DC superhero that I'd like to follow, because I was like, a lasso? That's so lame. I was like, actually, you know, it kind of worked.
I'll say it again actually though, because me and Gavin were talking about how the CGI wasn't great.
Oh,
So
did you think? I thought it was quite good.
I thought it was
quite
okay,
bad.
but for me especially the bits where she was using the lasso and like dragging people
Oh,
around,
yeah,
I
that
thought
was a bit-
CGI,
yeah.
I thought that looked kind of crap.
The thing is that I don't know how they could make that better because that is a pretty difficult thing. But I thought all the other CGI bits were pretty good.
Mm.
Like
I was a
compared
bit
to the
meh.
other stuff, I thought it was like.
Doesn't Wonder Woman in the old school DC comics, doesn't she have like a jet that's invisible as well?
Yeah, I think she does.
Can't
So
wait to
Ollie
see
knows
that.
something about comic books that we
It's because it's in thingy, isn't it? It's in
It's like Family Guy. isn't it?
yeah, Family Guy and Chicken. What's that chicken one?
Robot Chicken.
Robot Chicken. It's in that because
Yeah,
Aquaman. They're like we're on
And they're
the
like,
and that crowd jumps on and like, haha, we're not actually on it. Yeah, that's jokes.
I thought, like, you know, when they're on Themyscira and then you see, you know, a lot of it you can tell the background, a lot of it is CGI, and when you can tell, for me anyway, that's kind of indicative of it being quite bad.
I couldn't tell.
I
wasn't looking for it at all, and
I wasn't looking for it either.
I don't know how you could tell. I couldn't tell at all.
Oh, maybe it's just me. But I mean, it's not a bad film. Like, I can appreciate that it is one of the better DCEU films, and I'm not saying that Suicide Squad is better. I don't think it's better. I just don't think it's considerably worse. I don't like the elements of Suicide Squad and the elements of Batman vs Superman that I actually liked. It's just in general those films aren't very good. And the same with Wonder Woman. Like, there are elements that I actually quite liked. I thought the comic elements were quite funny. Like, especially when there's the whole thing and when they're on the boat sailing from Themyscira and she's lying down, she's like, why don't you just lie next to me? And he's like, oh, well, you know, where I'm from, you got to get married before you can sleep with someone. And she's like, why? You know, and it's like the kind of... She is fish out of water. The
naivety of it.
In fact, she's actually probably more progressive than a lot of people around her.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're kind of funny moments. Even with the French guy, he was quite funny.
Oh, the one who was like trying to get with her.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was funny.
I didn't like the other character though, the one who was singing.
A Scottish guy.
Yeah,
he's from Trainspotting.
I just thought it was a really unnecessary character. But
yeah. So the elements I liked, but I mean, and I actually liked the war bit up until Ares shows up. I thought the film would have been a lot better if Ares actually didn't exist or didn't appear, and it was kind of like, actually, this is just a human kind of...
I thought Ares was going to end up being the woman with half a face.
Do you know what? No, for some reason, I had a feeling it was going to be the guy who was Ares, but I feel like they should have had Ares just pop up like that, do the whole bit like, oh, you're the god killer, explain her life or whatever, and then just fuck off.
Yeah.
That's what you should have done. There shouldn't have been a massive fight scene. Or if there was, there should have been her trying to get the bombs away or whatever it was. And also, do you know what infuriated me about the film? Is, and you'll probably say it's got to happen because it's a film, but when she's going to sail off and the woman's like, why don't you tell her? And she's like, she doesn't need to know all the stuff about history. I'm thinking, you tell her this right now, she'll probably stay on the island and learn a bit more, rather than let her go away with your god-killing sword that you claim to have and your almighty shield and your lasso of truth. You're going to just let her go off with all these things.
She believes.
Talking about the shield, you know, there's that thing when she's training where they go shield and she jumps off the shield and something else. How does Chris Pine and his friends know that to do that? Because they get that sheet of iron, don't they? And they just go like shield and she jumps on. Eh? But
was Chris? Yeah, but maybe it was just something they thought. I don't know.
Maybe he saw him training. She might have been on that island for a while.
She didn't need that shield. She could have just jumped up there by herself.
Yeah.
She can actually fly though, I'm pretty sure.
It's her invisible jet.
Maybe she hadn't learnt it.
I thought actually at one point, Ares was actually going to be Claire Underwood.
Really?
Yeah. Because she seemed to really want her to be a warrior, and for me it was just like, why if there's no war?
She knew her potential.
Yeah.
I just think for me the flaws of the film really dragged it down. Like, so I really enjoyed the war bit, but the main villains who are kind of presented throughout are the woman with half a face, Isabella something, and then Ludwig van Ludegretz, whatever his name is. Like, they're the two main villains. You know, he's kind of like a high-ranking officer in the German army, and he's kind of making her do this gas, and they're dispatched so quickly. It kind of, as soon as Ares turns up, which again, like, I thought was quite predictable, as soon as he turns up, they just shoved to a side, and the German guy dies really quickly, and then the woman with half a face, she just escapes, doesn't she?
Yeah.
And then Ares, like, considering he's God of war, he dies quite easily, to be honest. Like, I thought...
That's it though, peace, right?
The thing with
peace in our life.
The thing with DC is they have really good villains, and they just don't execute them well. Like Doomsday with Batman vs Superman.
That was so bad.
He dies very quickly.
And Lex Luthor was shit as well.
Lex Luthor, yeah. But at least he's still alive. And then...
God, he should have been dead.
Enchantress was wank. Like, it's just really bad. Zod, one of the biggest characters in DC, arguably, villains, like... died.
He's probably, out of all the villains, he's probably been portrayed the best so far.
I feel like for these, like, apart from Joker, who doesn't really die, like, they should keep some of these villains alive, because then it's more like, oh, actually, these heroes aren't actually as all-powerful as they could be. You know, that these two gods fighting, and it wasn't a great fight because it was just a CGI fuckfest, and then like they just die quite easily, and you know, I don't know, it descended into
You've run out of
fights.
words.
Yeah, he's so disheartened by it.
The thing is, if they carried on with the war thing, it would have been a very, very good film. And it was. I'm not saying it's a bad film. I'm just saying the elements of it that are really disappointing.
Yeah.
And it just seems to be a trend within DC.
Well, the thing is with DC, they've kind of gone away from the norm. So we've discussed this in depth quite a bit. But like, so in Batman's ideology is that he will not kill, and we've seen several times that he will in fact kill, which is bizarre. Again, Superman will not kill. Again, has killed. Wonder Woman, on the other hand, is not like that. She will kill, but because when she meets Superman and Batman, she then has the ideology, I will not kill. Because they teach her that. Like, otherwise she's naive and she thinks, but why wouldn't I kill? Because that's the way of the world, kind of thing. But I just think, like, it's kind of, and you're going to not like this, but it's kind of Iron Man-esque. Like, they have so many villains, and they just don't execute them well. Like, that fire guy.
Yeah, Killian.
Yeah, whatever his name, I don't care. The guy with the whips, the guy who was the robot man alongside Iron Man. Yeah, whatever. So, like, I don't know, like, I get what you mean. Like, there's 3 villains in this thing, and
they're all underdeveloped.
Yeah, massively. But then maybe they're trying to enhance the war part of it a bit more.
Yeah, but then they kind of, for me personally, they ruined it with.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. They ruined it with that massive fight scene at the end. And I'm pretty sure as well that... what's his name? Who did Chris Pine play again?
Steve Trevor.
I'm pretty sure he shouldn't die as well.
What?
That was telegraphed.
I'm pretty sure that in the comics, like in modern day, Steve, he's there.
That doesn't mean he should still be alive, though.
Well, if they want to go along with the trend, it should...
Are we being...
Oh, but you didn't see him die.
This is
It's
also
like the Game
another
of
thing,
Thrones series.
But then you
don't see him die.
Well, he did an Iron Man, innit? Like, Iron Man goes up to the sky and then falls back to Earth and still stays alive.
Yeah.
So the framing of this film I actually enjoyed as well. So, like, it starts off with Diana Prince she receives an email from... receives the photo of her from Batman vs Superman. It's from Bruce Wayne. And then that kind of triggers a flashback, and then right at the end, she just types an email and says, "Oh, cheers, mate." Like, so, but I thought it'd be what tends to happen in films is, like with Captain America, it just starts off in the past. Actually, that does start off in the present, and then it kind of, there's a long...
It's literally a replication of Captain America.
But I kind of like the framing of it because it kind of still links to Batman vs Superman. But then it's also like, oh, you've just done her origins and now we're back in the present. So, like, that's done. But are we being unfair to it by comparing it to Marvel films? Like, there's a lot of Captain America in it. There's a little bit of Iron Man in it. I thought some of it was quite Thor-ish.
No, I don't think it's unfair to... They're all kind of on the same bandwidth, aren't they?
I mean, you do it with any war films, wouldn't you? When you compare war films and say one's better than the other, or comedy, say one's better than the other.
True.
And... in reality, you didn't really particularly like Captain America and you don't particularly like Wonder Woman, so they're probably on par.
Yeah. But I'm just wondering, am I being unfair to it because I'm thinking, oh, this is like Captain America? Or when Chris Pine flies off and the bomb gets destroyed, that's kind of Iron Man-y in at the end of Avengers.
I was thinking about that, like, because there was loads of gas, wasn't there, on that plane, and it was supposed to explode in London. But, like, he goes to the atmosphere and it explodes there, so surely all that gas is just... chilling out.
Acid rain, yeah?
Right?
So surely more people would die from that.
Didn't think it through.
No.
Come on, writers.
Thing is, as well, though, I do like... So, there was one bit in the film where woman with funky mouth goes... She's like
Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah, she's like trying to recreate whatever drug she's made, and then all of a sudden the piece of paper just rolls over to her. I was like, that's really convenient.
That not Ares?
But then they explained it at the end, so I was going to mention it, but then they explained it at the end, which I thought was quite good that they explained it. But yeah, I thought it was an alright film.
I'm just curious, is Wonder Woman's skin impenetrable, or is it just the thing she's got on the wrist?
Just the thing she's got on her wrist.
Yeah, she does have a cut on her at one point, I think.
I think she
doesn't it heal though? Like, and it's like the marks.
No,
there
doesn't the woman do it to her?
No, I thought she goes.
Oh,
to
yeah.
because she like takes advantage of.
I think she does. She
right.
can. Her skin is penetrable,
but
but
it heals.
It
really
heals
quickly.
real fast.
Okay.
So it's like Captain America. Captain America can be cut, but then he'll heal really fast.
Fair enough.
So what do we think of the future of DC then?
We're on an upward trend.
So far,
Justice League will be good.
like, so let's be honest. So we started at Man of Steel, which is a pretty low starting point.
I actually think Man of Steel's better than Batman v Superman. Personally.
Yeah,
I'm
I
saying,
agree with that.
well, I
Come on,
think.
it's got Russell Crowe.
Well, for me, I think they're on. I think they're either. I think they're
no,
either.
it's Russell Crowe. He's good in everything.
He's rubbish in that, man.
No,
I
I'm
think-
gonna have to rewatch it.
Yeah.
Then.
I think
Points
they're on. I
character.
think they're on par because I think there's points in. Wait, what did you think was better, Batman vs Superman?
No.
No, I think they're on par personally because I think there was good bits in Batman vs Superman, especially in the extended cut, and then I think Suicide Squad just made it go completely downwards, and then it's gone back up again. That's my personal opinion. But your opinion would be what? It went down then up, or it went down, and now it's gone up.
I don't know.
What's the worst one?
The worst one is
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad just.
Yeah, and then
Like,
Batman vs Superman.
Yeah, I'll give Suicide Squad a 4, I'll give Batman v Superman 4.5, and I'll give Man of Steel 5.
So yeah, so for Obi's it went down and now it's just gone like that.
Mm.
Up.
Mm.
Yours, Ollie?
Mine.
Yeah.
It's in a ditch.
Yeah.
It's just not coming back out, mate. It's not coming back out. Didn't we see that? What was the film we saw the trailer for a few weeks back with like Cyborg and
Yeah,
Justice League. That comes out in November.
yeah,
doesn't it?
we all said that looks dreadful.
No, I didn't say that.
No, I didn't say that.
I didn't say that.
We said it
That
was
looks
dreadful.
so
I think
dreadful.
it's
Let's go
really-
back
I
down
think
the
it's
hill.
really good.
I think it's going to be good.
I think it's really good.
You are wrong.
Yeah.
We'll see in November or whenever it comes out.
So what films we got now, superhero wise? Spider-Man 4 and Justice League.
Yeah. I don't think Spider-Man's going to be very good.
I think it's going to be good.
I am looking forward to the villain because this is like Vulture and
Birdman.
Birdman. Yeah, man. He's like my favourite villain for Spider-Man after Doc Ock.
They won't bring that back for a while, I don't think.
No.
They should have carried on with Sinister Six, actually.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Mm.
I want to mention a film I saw called Hardcore Henry.
Oh, God, you didn't watch it, did you?
Yeah?
Oh, no.
Did you not like it?
I started watching it, but then Obi reminded me it's a pretty shit film.
What?
Yeah, I remember I was going to watch it and you said that looks like a rubbish film, so I was like...
I have no idea what you're talking about. So
Yeah.
So none of you have seen it?
No, it's the third person thing, isn't it?
First person.
First person, sorry.
Yeah, so Hardcore Henry is a first person action thriller. It's the Russian director. So first person is basically the camera is the guy's
GoPro.
eyes. It is a GoPro, yeah, it's filmed with
Wicked.
GoPro. So all you
Is that
see
shit?
is the actor's hands. So it's basically as if you are, you know, that's the verite style of it is like you're supposed to feel like you are part of this film. And the kind of general story is that this guy Henry wakes up, and his wife, who's played by the woman who looks like Jennifer Lawrence but isn't, she's his wife, and she's kind of, he's in a lab and she's fixing him, so she puts like bionic legs and arms because she said that he's been in like some sort of accident, and she's like, oh Henry, I love you, like I'm trying to fix you. And then then the bad guy turns up, and he basically wants to weaponize Henry, so wants to, you know, find out how he's built and stuff and weaponize him. And the funny thing is that so his wife doesn't have time to put his voice box in, so he's mute throughout the whole thing.
Oh, good God.
But I fucking enjoyed this film so much. It is such an entertaining film, and so like, you know, there's a lot of
Is that solely because it's from their point of view?
not because of that. So it's like quite a novel concept for a film. But the action was slick. Like the editing of this film is incredible. There's a lot of parkour in it, so it all feels very real. So he's like running up the side of buildings. Like it's more Assassin's Creed than Assassin's Creed the film was. So he's like running up buildings, like falling from helicopters and all this stuff, and it feels really realistic. Not just because of the first person camera, but also I'm pretty sure the guy who was playing Henry was a stuntman. So it's not as if like they have to cut and it makes it look like something's happened. It actually does happen. And it's really gory. Like there's a lot of gory action, and it's just so cool.
What's this called?
Hardcore Henry.
Writing it down.
Yeah, so I mean the plot's kind of thin, but it's very entertaining. And there's Sholto Copley's in it. He's the South African guy who's in District 9.
Fucking prawns, mate.
Exactly.
Fucking prawns.
So he plays this. I can't remember. I think his
Have you seen it?
his character's name's Jim. But anyway, so he is this kind of...
He's helping him, isn't he?
Yeah, so he ends up being this clone, so there's lots of different gyms, but he just dies in the most hilarious ways. Like, he dies in one part and then another gym turns up, and yeah, it's quite tongue-in-cheek, but it's also a really good action film. Like, the action is solid, and considering it's filmed with a GoPro, the actual, like, the depth of the shot and stuff, it looks really good, because I thought if it's filmed with a GoPro, it'd be like filming with a webcam, it just looked really flat, but actually it was really good, and I would thoroughly recommend it. Like, your initial kind of
I really wanted to watch it, but then a few people were like, "No, it's going to be rubbish."
Well, the reason I'd put off watching it so long was because I thought the first person would just wear quite thin. I thought after a while you'd just be like, this is kind of boring. Let's, I want to cut to another, perspective or something. But because the action is just so continuous, like, it's only probably 90 minutes long, but there's something going on all the time, and there is a little bit of a twist, and it was just really entertaining.
Well, you sold it to me, so
I would
I'm gonna check it out.
I would definitely recommend
things on
it.
that hand, mate.
Yeah, I think you'd like it. I don't know if are you like an action guy?
Oh, no.
Watch it.
Wow.
I would recommend it. Yeah, I was really entertained by it, and I watched it with my dad, and he was pretty into it as well. This is from a guy who doesn't really watch anything, but yeah, cool. Yeah, would definitely recommend that.
All right.
Yeah,
I know. I was just thinking it's strange. You selling me something considering you haven't even watched The Matrix, mate. So
I have watched The Matrix. I just haven't watched the two sequels.
Oh, okay.
Because you fucking ruined it for me.
Here we go.
Would you want to watch a prequel to that?
To The Matrix?
Yeah.
Well, aren't they going to make a new one?
Don't know. That would be quite a cool idea. Yeah, that'd be sweet. Follow a young Morpheus.
Exactly. That'd be alright. Or a young John Wick.
Well, they're doing a sequel to Matrix, aren't they?
It's hard to do prequels though when you get all these actors who have been working for 10 years
Yeah.
and they all look like they're 60.
Unless you get do what Straight Outta Compton do and find people who look like a split image of their older selves.
Get their sons.
Yeah.
What you should do is when you think of a franchise, what you do is you secretly film a couple of films with the actor in that age, then film the actual film, release that, and then a few years later you'll release the prequel films.
Yeah, but we discussed that, it's just going to be CGI in the future of
that's true.
actors who have passed away, so
yeah,
there's nothing going to be, can't stop that.
There was a film they did that in recently, actually. So in Pirates of the Caribbean 5, like, there's a young Jack Sparrow, and they've just de-aged Johnny Depp, and I was like, what is Disney's fucking problem?
They did it with Star Wars.
Oh, sorry.
And Iron Man, yeah. Well, Iron Man, he was in a CG world, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But they did it with Star Wars with
Leia
Prince Leia, yeah.
And also the guy who
Prince
plays-
Leia.
Princess Leia and
What's his name?
The captain. who
Peter
did-
Cushing. I don't know what his character's name is.
The guy who didn't need to be in the film whatsoever.
Yeah.
But they had to put in.
I thought it'd be good. No, when he was staring away from the main villain, if they had kept it like that,
That would be better.
as opposed to him turning around and having like a massive monologue.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's not get into it.
Yeah. That's another film coming out, isn't it?
What?
Star Wars.
Episode 8.
Episode 8.
Oh God, yeah, it is, isn't it?
Return of the Last Jedi's New
But that's
Hope.
the end of the year. We've got
It's gonna be
plenty of
so
films before then.
rubbish.
Oh, shut up. Obi, it's your turn from the archive.
Oh, shit. Yeah, cool. Let's go with 24. Marcos. Wow, from the archive was 24.
Alright, cool.
So 24 is about the counter-terrorist unit in Los Angeles for the first, I think, 7 seasons. The last season's in New York, and then they've got a spin-off. I'm not going to talk about the spin-off because I haven't finished watching it yet. So yeah, focuses around Jack Bauer, who is a CTU agent, and he's basically like pretty much like the best.
The absolute boss.
Yeah, the best agent that they have.
He sounds like your idol.
He
Every time
honestly,
you talk about him.
Honestly, if I was like in the army or whatever, he's the sort of character I'd like to be. So that sort of guy. So yeah, it just basically focuses on from terrorist threats from different countries, different races, and they normally have you think that this is the terrorist organisation, but actually they're working for this terrorist organisation, and there's always like a double switch and cross and all sorts of stuff. And there's always a moment where Jack Bauer just goes schizo and starts to kill like 10, 20 people in like one go, and that's always fun to watch. And it's quite emotional at times as well, because he loses a couple people basically throughout the series, and there's always like one constant, which is his daughter, and he like loves her to bits, and like he tries to protect her and stuff like that. And you know, there's always like sometimes there's what's it called, corruption, I suppose, in the counter-terrorist unit, and especially in the first season. And yeah, there's always people people going against other people. People die. Emotional characters die. The president. This is how progressive 24 was. It was made in 2001, and they had a black president. These guys. But so yeah, the president at that time was David Palmer, which is played by Dennis someone. He was in Brooklyn Nine-Nine as well, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, Dennis Hayes.
Oh, right.
Yeah, he's like got that really big burly voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, and he's just sick, and things happen, and it gets quite emotional. But Chris knows what I'm talking about. And certain people get put into president's office. To be fair, actually, they kind of mirror certain events that happened in the USA in real life. So there's a president in it called Charles Logan, and he's got a vice president called Mike something.
Mike Hunt.
And it's very like George Bush and Dick Cheney sort of character relationship. So they're kind of like I wouldn't say anti-heroes, but they're kind of like doing things that they think is good for the country, but you know it's shifty and a bit dodgy. But yeah, there's certain presidents who are just like, what? Why are you president? Chris knows probably knows what I'm talking about there as well. But yeah, it's good action-packed TV show. It follows so it's called 24 because there's 24 episodes in the season, and it's filmed in real time. So the 24 episodes just covers one day basically, and this whole threat thing is happening. This whole
the
threat
latest series.
is happening. Yeah, bar the latest 2 series, which is they're 12 episodes each. So yeah, the threat is happening in all across one day. So I quite like that sort of thing. So like they kind of have to like be more careful when they're filming stuff, sort of thing.
So you don't just see someone sleeping for like 2 hours.
No, exactly. So like they'll be like driving, and they'll be like sort of thing like, he'll jump from one side of LA to the other, and you'll be like, how long are you going to be? I'll be about 25 minutes, and you won't see that character for another 25 minutes when he arrives at the place. Sort of things like that. So yeah, man, it's a cool program.
No one's safe.
No one is safe.
But
This thing what I like about I've always said I like unpredictability in my programs, and 24. Apart from the fact that obviously Jack Bauer's the main character, so you know he's not going to die. But apart from him, everyone else is like everyone's
Expendable.
expendable, exactly.
But
So,
this is an American show, so if it's an hour long, it means it's actually 40 minutes or so.
yeah,
because
Do
they do that.
they
So
factor that in. Yeah,
they
factor
take
in the
the
breaks.
cut bit scenes when you come back from the adverts. It carries on like from 15 minutes later.
And does that ever wear thin, the fact that it's like across the whole day and that?
Not for me.
For me, it did for the first season, but you really liked it.
I love the first season.
Loads of people really liked the first season, but for me, that really
Yeah.
it was good, but it dragged on a little bit. But then after that, it was really easy to watch.
Yeah.
There was one season that wasn't very good. Was it season?
There was a couple of seasons that weren't great.
But there was one really bad one. Was
I
it
can't
season?
remember. Maybe season 4.
4.
Maybe season 4. But I remember season 1, season 3, season 5 for me are really, really good.
Yeah.
I
I really enjoyed the one which was 12 hours as well.
Yeah,
That was really good.
Live
as well.
Another Day.
Yeah, I think that
That
was
only came out a few years ago, right?
Yeah, like 2 years ago.
when we were second year of uni.
Yeah, 3 years ago.
3 years
Yeah.
ago.
Fucking hell.
But yeah, I binged season 8 of 24. When I was at uni, I binged season 8 of 24 in like 2 days.
So that's the 12-hour one.
That was 24 episodes. That was 24 episodes.
So how
What's
many?
that?
How
Season
many?
8. There's been 10. So there's 8 regular ones.
Yeah.
2 and 2 spin-offs basically.
Okay, so the 8
And a
is
movie.
all with Kiefer
And a film,
Sutherland.
Yeah. The
Then-
9th one's got Keith Sutherland in it as well.
That's the Live Another Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
10th one has got
Michael B. Jordan.
No. It's wow.
The guy
Oh
from
shit, Corey
Wow.
Hawkins.
Racist. Yeah.
Corey Hawkins.
Yeah,
That's
Corey Hawkins.
Alright, and is that 12 episodes?
Yes.
Okay, so the ones with Kiefer Sutherland in, well, let's do the first 8. Does that end, like, in a way that you're like, if I don't see another one, I'll be happy that this is ended like that?
No.
Or does it
It is for
leave it,
me.
Does it?
so it didn't leave it open for a Live Another Day thing?
Yeah.
It did leave it open, but
Okay.
the way it ended, I was like, okay, I'm cool with this.
I didn't know.
And then what about Live Another Day? Did that end it well?
I can't remember, you know.
Because we always talk about TV shows
I just remember going
ending
on
quite
like, fat
badly.
killing spree
Yeah, that was like near the penultimate. If
near the end.
Yeah.
It was pretty much, that's pretty much the end.
yeah.
So I just can't remember how it ended. I think
No.
I think it kind of ends similar to the way the season 8 ends.
No,
Like-
because season 8 ends like he's.
Ooh, spoilers.
Yeah. So season 8 is like a bit questionable, and like whether.
I thought it was a good ending.
No.
Personally.
Not that it was a good ending. But questionable whether he was seen as a good or bad person.
Okay.
Really. The end of season 9, I feel like he was redeemed, although he didn't technically do anything.
Redeemed by
wrong.
who? Do you mean in terms of viewers or in the actual show?
In the
like
actual
people
show,
in the
yeah, I
Okay.
feel like he was brought back to his current status, kind of thing.
He's kind of like a by any means necessary sort of person. So
Morally grey.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So he'll torture people,
And his
he'll do-
his way is the right way.
Yeah,
isn't
he'll
it?
do whatever as long as he gets the information that he needs. Then he doesn't give a shit what he's got to do it. And basically, because obviously the people who like his superiors, the president, all people like that, they're kind of like you can't do these things, but he gets results. And David Palmer understood that. He's the only one who understood him. Ugh, I can't get into it. Sorry,
It's a good series though.
can't get into it.
Definitely.
Fantastic. It's probably my favourite TV show.
I'll finish watching the first 8 seasons in 2 weeks. I smashed it.
What?
Yeah, I smashed it.
So you watched?
a season every other day.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
When the hell did you have time to watch this?
at uni.
Oh, right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, we all know how little contact time you have at uni.
Yeah, I literally because I set up my uni schedule, so I'd only be there 2 days a week. So the rest of the time,
Set up
yeah.
uni around 24.
Oh, yeah.
I like it.
All right,
Smashed it,
and we've
mate.
got
Movies take priority.
What's
a little note on our notepad say psych.
Yeah,
What's that?
so that's from Hopes.
So yeah, I know Ollie
Psych.
has watched Psych, the TV show.
Mm-hmm.
So they're making a 2-hour movie special. Because the show ended how many years ago? Like 3 years ago.
A couple of years ago.
A couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're coming back with a 2-hour special with the I'm assuming the original cast. I'm not sure, but yeah, I've only watched like 2 episodes of it, so I don't really know that much about it. But yeah,
They're quite long. They're 45-minute episodes. Anyway. So yeah, it'd be like a double bill, but that's cool, man. Like a spin-off.
Yeah. Is
Yeah.
it something that you're excited for? Like, was it?
Yeah, I had no idea. So
was
it's
it one of
always
the-
good to find out about it.
Was it one of those shows that was cancelled before it actually had time to end, or did it end? And...
No, I'd say no. I think there was. They were gonna get cancelled, but luckily they got onto, I think it was USA Original, and they continued the series on from whatever series they were gonna be cancelled on. So they got up to season 8 when it finished, and it was worth it. It was good.
Okay.
But it was closure on every level, sort of thing.
So do you need a film?
Don't need a film, but it's always good. I've actually only got the first 2 series on the DVD, so definitely gonna need to get the rest.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Awesome.
fill up the DVD
Cool.
wall.
Yeah, just there's a DVD
Yeah,
wall behind
exactly.
us, which is kind of impressive. Actually, just
It's like a digital library.
just notice the film Crank in your DVD list. That's kind of Hardcore Henry.
Is it? I really like Crank.
So you'd love Hardcore
Oh,
Henry.
okay, cool.
Hardcore Henry's a better version of that.
Is it? Oh, I
In
really
my
like
opinion.
Crank.
Do you
Crank's
guys
so
think
funny.
you're gonna get Baywatch or Chris? 'Cause you get DVDs. You're gonna get Baywatch on DVD.
Yeah, probably at some point.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I'll definitely get. I have like all the superhero films, even shit ones like Man Thing and
Man.
Spawn. Spawn.
I think you got Swamp Thing.
Yeah, Swamp Thing. Yeah.
Deary me.
I got a question for you guys.
Yeah.
So
Oh, have you got your questions
I
from?
do.
Oh,
okay.
I wish you had said
The
before
sequel.
because like it's gonna be next week. We're gonna start with
I'm
the
only
question.
gonna ask one.
I've got one question.
Alright,
as well.
go on then,
Chris
Chris.
first.
Alright, so in any TV series of your choice, is there any TV series where you would kill off the main character that hasn't been killed off?
Ooh, that is a good question. I can't think of any TV shows.
Like because they're annoying or because you think someone
Well,
else
you-
I kill off Daenerys.
could
Does
do
that count?
better.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that counts.
I'd
yeah.
kill off Rick Grimes because I feel like it needs to go in a different direction for Walking Dead.
Okay, yeah.
Oh my god.
Arguably, you could maybe think that Frank Underwood should die.
There you go.
That's
That's it. Yeah.
Team Rocket.
What about them?
They should die.
Oh,
They should
okay, right, okay.
Fair
Yeah.
enough. Fair enough.
Also,
Surprised they're not dead, to be honest.
yeah. Also, Ditto because it's a useless Pokemon. Mate, don't get me started.
None of those last 3 were main characters.
Oh, true.
But yeah, So, if you think they should be killed off for the progression of the series, or you think they'd be killed off because it would be, like, you just hate them, I don't know, whatever you want, really.
I don't know. Wow, TV series, mate. Never my strong point. I'll start with it next week.
Okay.
What would you say?
Well, if you count her as a main character, what's his face? His wife in Breaking Bad.
Skylar.
Oh, fuck her. Honestly, she should have died. But yeah, that's it. That's mine.
Alright, good question.
How do you wish she had gone? Just in a huge shootout. With,
I wish he had just got a gun and gone bang.
No, the way that Los Pollos Hermanos guy, Gus Fring, the way he died, she should have died.
Yeah.
Oh, she got like caught in a car wash. That Final Destination sort of thing.
Oh mate, that'd be hilarious.
Okay, so
Obi's question time. Yeah.
Hold on,
The sequel.
let me get it
Mate,
up.
I've been taken over while you haven't brought your notebook, mate.
Yeah, mate. Alright, so in the spirit of House of Cards starting, and we got a general election next week.
Oh, like it.
All of you are Prime Minister for one day, and you can pass one piece of legislation, or you can take away one previous bit of legislation. What would you do?
Legalise weed, innit?
Okay, so no one else can say that. No one else can say
Oh,
legalised
damn
weed.
it, that was my one. Oh, no.
And this is in the real world, right?
Yeah, real world
So it's not like
Be my wife.
it's not like, you know, the mutant bill has been passed.
No.
I'd make
You
it
can
so.
do one thing, or you can take away one thing.
I'd make it so you couldn't take away the NHS.
Okay,
That's true.
good one.
I would do a Corbyn and remove tuition fees, and also wipe the debt of me and anyone else in our cohort.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yours?
Interesting.
Considering you're going to be future prime minister,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Fuck, I didn't think about this.
This is going to come back and bite you in the ass.
Yeah. How are we supposed to believe in Obi?
Shit.
'Cause he's basically what he's doing. He's listening to the people,
This
and now he's going to do.
This will be my manifesto.
Yeah, exactly.
in 20 years' time. Oh gosh, I am not sure.
Veto Brexit.
To be fair, I'm not sure. You know.
Would you?
Oh, I would make it so that every secondary school from year 9 up until when you pick your A levels, you have to do 1 hour of learning about like politics a week,
Okay.
so that people are more clued up by the time they get to the age.
See,
they
I
can
like that, but
Politics
I-
or like
I would do-
anything like
Politics
actual useful in the real world.
Real world, so like learn how to do
Tax,
taxes,
yeah.
all
that
sorts
would
of
be
stuff like
so
that.
useful.
Do you know what I
because
mean?
Uni
Yeah.
did not prepare
Once
me
you
for
get to
life.
like, learn about learn about mortgages, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the fuck I learned about in uni. Nothing.
Cool.
Yeah,
Is
that
that
was
it? Only one question.
I'm gonna ask why. Yeah, I'm gonna try to save.
And where's your book? Glorious
I know. What the book
trivia.
of trivia, which no one was enthused about the first time.
I liked
We
it.
didn't know any of the answers.
I liked it though.
Alright, I'll try and bring it next week. That was Alright, cool. Well, anything else to add before we close?
Not that I can think of.
Is there anything actually decent coming out next week?
Orange New Black?
Yeah.
The Mummy?
You
Is
don't
the
want-
Mummy coming out?
Maybe.
Transformers?
Oh.
Yeah.
There are a lot of trailers. So Dunkirk, the trailer.
Oh god, I'm fed up with
looking
that
forward to
trailer. Every kind of month there's a trailer that we're fed up with. It was Ghost in the Shell, then it was
It's because we
Alien.
go cinema so much.
Now
It's
it's
like you get the
Dunkirk.
same.
But they have 5 trailers for Dunkirk in one trailer
It's
section.
like 5 seconds though, because it's like a stopwatch. Like
No.
5 seconds. Oh my god, plane coming in, and then the next film, next trailer.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Alright, well.
I'm sure we'll
Just
talk
can't
about
please some
plenty.
people.
Well, thank you so much for listening to episode 17. If you want to get involved, let us know the prequel TV shows that you'd like to see, or if you'd like to say any main character of a TV show you'd like to kill off. And also, if you just want to mention with the upcoming election, any laws that you would pass or take away. Obi needs all the help he can get building his manifesto.
Yeah.
So, we'll be his shadow cabinet. I don't think that actually works, does it? We'd be your cabinet. I know nothing about politics. Anyway, so you can tweet us at YSC Podcast 17. You can search us on Facebook, Instagram, iTunes, and SoundCloud at Your Average Critics. So please do get involved. You can comment. You can insult Joe.
Dead weight, mate. We got what's his name? Von Trout, whatever his name was. He was right.
Von Trout.
Von Trout, that's it. He was right.
Give us a share on Facebook, give us a like, subscribe to us, and give us a 5-star review. So we'd really appreciate that. So yeah, thank you for listening, and tune in next week.
Peace.